The world's second largest exporter, and Germany is the second most commonly spoken language in both the scientific and business world. And because of this, there are more jobs offered to a German-speaking individual than a Spanish-speaking person. German opens more doors for us than Spanish, not to mention more than half the students attending Lakewood High School are Hispanic. And people who are Hispanic are the people who are taking German to learn a foreign language. Spanish shouldn't be considered a foreign language to us. It's basically our first language. Spanish won't benefit us in any way. Shutting down the German program won't benefit our schools financially either. There are 115 students taking German, and if the program gets shut down, we all have to transfer to Spanish, causing the Spanish classes to overflow with kids or causing another teacher to be hired. It cancels each other out, and we benefit nothing at all. And since Ms. Gregson is the only teacher and there are 115 kids, classes are like 30 kids per period, and a foreign language class should only be 15 to 20 kids, so we can learn properly, so we can talk about it. I'm sorry. And though it's required for us to take 2 years of a language to graduate, you need 2 years of the same language to get into a 4-year college, and 3 years is preferred. 3 years of the same language will get you into a better college than 2 years will. I'm sorry. This gives a huge disadvantage to the juniors taking German 1. Not only will they not graduate on time, but they won't get into the best college possible. Isn't that what we want? Our student graduates from Lakewood High School going to top schools? Yeah. They offer us more jobs, more educational. It's not fair if it gets taken away. And I know it isn't, you guys aren't talking about it tonight, but if it comes up again, you should really think about what I'm saying or what we're saying, or what Ms. Gregson says. We benefit nothing at all. It's hurting us more than it's helping us. Thank you.
Ms. Baker, if you could please look into this for the next meeting, look into the enrollment and possibly maybe Spanish is redundant in Lakewood.
Good evening. You're finished. Bill Holiday, 30 Schoolhouse Lane. I'm trying to understand the issues we've seen tonight. This board voted down the budget. It was immediately overridden by the Mr. Zara. And on page 3, separate proposal for additional funds was voted down by this board and overridden again by Mr. Zara. Now, what I heard is that there's apparently an ad hoc committee, and I think Mr. Zara named several rabbis in the Senior Action Committee. And I'm just interested as to this agreement. Is it verbal, written, is it a matter of the public record? Who are the individuals that make up this body?
I can tell you that it's not a committee that's associated with the Department of Education or the school district. This is its own self-assembled committee. And that was just their opinion. They were quoted in the paper, and that's all.
And sir, I'm not putting you on the spot, I'm just trying to understand the process is.
So basically what we're doing in the budget is what was the plan last year, that we would pilot tiering last year and expand it all the way this year.
Okay.
Now we are getting.
What I'm trying to get my arms around here is I'm trying to understand the overriding of the board's wishes. Is that in concurrence with the wishes of this group or groups? That
I don't believe the group wanted a separate question.
I think that from what I understand, the discuss, because I went back to the group after I heard that there was an agreement, and I congratulated them. on reaching the agreement. And from what I understand, it was clearly said in the meeting that if there is, and it came from both the seniors and the non-public schools, that both the seniors and non-public schools do not want a referendum, and the tiering is contingent on not having the referendum. Again, one of the reasons is because the budget is going up by $6 million. That means that your tax is going up, and another $2.5 million will hurt everyone. The seniors on the fixed income and everybody else in the stand. So the tiering was contingent on not having the referendum.
Okay.
This is what I wasn't there, so I can't tell you exactly what happened there. So I'm just collecting information.
Are there minutes to these meetings? I mean, who gets to?
Mr. Zara was there.
It's not I don't think it's a formal public body. So I doubt it's minutes.
If I chose to know when these meetings occur, might I come in as an interested party just to see what's being discussed?
If you find out, let me know.
Since none of us are on it, we could answer the question.
I mean, with all due respect, backroom negotiations are sometimes good and sometimes not good. So somebody better be in control of what is happening and what is being decided, and is that always in the best interest of the school district and every child they're in. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Vargas? Ms. Vargas? Vargas.
Evening.
State your name, please, ma'am.
Liz Vargas.
Thank you.
Well, I'm in German right now, taking German 1, actually, and I was offered to go in German 2 for the following year, but to think that you guys are trying to offer us online, I really, not to be rude, but it's really dumb, because I think it's better to be taught by an actual teacher than to go online and do it ourselves. And I actually have my sister here, and I was telling her about this, and she actually wants to take German when she's older, but knowing that she might not have the chance, she also gets kind of upset about it. That's really all I have to say, because I'm just kind of upset about it, because I want to keep on going with this third language I'm learning this year, and I think it's actually better later on for work, because you do get into better colleges and work. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anthony, excuse me if I mispronounced your name. Sacramento? Did I pronounce that last name right?
Sacramento.
Thank you.
My name is Andy Sacramento. I come to Lakewood High School, and I'm currently taking German 1, and it's the most amazing experience going through, knowing that I already know English, Spanish, and now a third language becomes German. Right now I'm learning the basics. I would like to learn more advanced, so I will be excited to be having German 2 if we still have it for next year. We also have a German club. I'm the president of the German club. We bring people and we get to let them know how fun it is, because some people find it boring or probably hard that German is, different language is not common over here. And yeah, more than half of our students in school know Spanish, and my sisters, I tell them that, look, I'm learning a third language, which is German. They find it very interesting. And today I have to tell them that I'm going to complain that they're gonna probably take it off, and I want them to, go through what I'm going through with new language and everything, and I want German, I want to keep going. For senior year, I would like to do German 3 if it's possible, hearing that it's an honors class. I'm not an honors student, and I'm trying to go my way to become in some honor classes, because it will look great for me when I go to college, and I really want this class to continue. And same with my sisters. I started late for German, I'm a sophomore, starting German 1, and if you guys cancel it, I have to go to Spanish and Spanish too, because I want to look good in my college application and go to a good college.
Thank you very much. I tell you the last name, but the first name is Sarah. First letter is a B, I think the rest. Sarah.
Jose Serrano.
Yeah, that one, yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay, well, as you know, I'm enlisted in the Lakewood High School. I'm a freshman in my first year, and so far I already learned so much in German. German is, like Marla said, it's the second most used language in the world. And what I want to be is either business or a lawyer. And German has helped me out very much. It doesn't just teach me the language, but teach me how this world works. This little, I was taught that I was supposed to pursue my opportunities, and Lakewood has taught me that. I grew up in Lakewood for about 12 years. I'm not from this country, but this place has taught me so much. In German, I'm very focused. I learned so much. I learned how to conjugate verbs and all sentences, and I've learned already so much. And that's why I want to keep continuing to speak it fluently, so I can have conversations with either in this country or out of this country. I know many of you here, like Ms. Winters, you were back in Oak Street School. I've seen you since I was very little. And I know you when I tried to take German away, because you have taught me that you shouldn't deny a child's education, because if you take down German, you're going to have to teach that away. It will affect many generations to come. It will affect my little brother. I had 3 other brothers. I was a baby sister. I was just born. It will affect them too, because what if they want to take German? Learn a new language. I don't know 2 languages so far. I want to learn a 3rd. So when I go to college, I'll have a better future than my parents. Because my parents only reach my dreams, and only reach that one step ahead of them. That's why I took German. To be more intelligent, to gain more knowledge. And this is why I came here. German is one of my passions, and I don't want to see it just crumble in front of my eyes. I want to do something about it.
Thank you. William Sorrentino. Nick Caraco. If I pronounce that wrong, please let me know. Nick. Miss Green. Green. I'll pronounce her first name. Her first name. What's your first name? Sapio Green.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hello. My name is Sapio Green, Executive Director and representing pt2. First, I wanted to thank you all for giving up your time for the community and for public schools and non-public schools, and putting education as your priority. With that being said, I'm here to appeal the professional development that funding for this year. We gave it all our papers, and everything that we needed. And we had an educator that has 4 years experience, and he has a resume and everything that we require for each workshop and everything, and handouts. And for some reason, they've been very picky at every small thing that you didn't give enough information, you have to give more information, and whatever information we're giving is never enough. I don't know what happened this year, but with a board that knows the importance of education and the importance of each teacher having the resources to be able to give over to the students and educate the future of Lakewood, the future of all our children. I think it's a very important thing to have professional development, and definitely not be nitpicking on exactly if we're not,
I have a question. When you say nitpicking, are there requirements that
it seems that's what I'm getting the vibes that there's some requirement changes or something.
Okay.
It's not clear. They're not being so clear with me. And I mean, I have all the information, so I can just give it to you if you'd like. The resume and the workshops that we have scheduled, and it would be a shame just to have to cancel this because of no funding.
Did you receive a denial letter?
We did not receive anything. The only thing we received was an email. She told me, we just appealed it.
Right. So when they went for the appeal, what did they tell you that you still need?
They said that it's insufficient information. So I spoke to them and asked them, what do I still need to have everything? They said that the handouts maybe is not 100% clear because we don't see everything that he's going to be giving out.
So they're saying it doesn't go through the guidelines?
The agenda is all there, everything, the agenda is all there, but yeah, they're saying something with the guidelines change of what professional development is, it might not meet it, what they require.
So the guidelines actually didn't change, we're just following the guidelines.
I'm not sure, because we...
No, that isn't true. So the district attorney is being stringent in following the guidelines because we received a lot of audit reports and we're following all of the guidelines now. So what happens is we have to follow the guidelines. So what they're telling you is that you need to follow the guidelines.
Right.
So,
And I explained to them that the guidelines are there. We have an educator and he has the experience of 4 years and he's consulted in many schools, and they're still saying that they're not sure because it sounds like maybe the workshop is question and answer when it says clearly that there's over an hour and 45 minutes of stuff.
but it has to be the topic. The topic has to follow the mandate.
Excuse me, Ms. Winters,
Yeah.
is there someone that can sit with this gentleman and show me line by line?
I believe they just did that on yesterday with the appeals, because Monday or Tuesday was the appeal process.
Right, they didn't show it, no, we gave it in and they said it's okay. And then today, they said, oh, we can't approve it because it's insufficient.
But you said you went to the
And they didn't
appeal.
elaborate on the insufficient. I had to pull out of them what exactly is the issue.
Right, so
And they weren't clear on that. They said we have
line.
questions, we just don't know. It's not, we can't say there's 100% information from everything that you're saying, even though it's true that you technically, it sounds like you do meet the requirement, but since we could still question it.
Was your
so-
appeal denied?
What?
Was your appeal denied?
We didn't get anything in the mail, but it was denied over.
Right, it doesn't sound like they had an appeal, they went through the appeals process.
Yeah, we did go through the appealing process, and they said, and Sarah Garfinkel sent an email that it was denied.
And it was denied?
Yes, and I spoke to her, and she said that now, if you want to give me more information, then you'll have to go to the Board of Ed.
Right.
and discuss it.
Right, you have to make an appointment.
Yeah.
Someone sit with this gentleman and show him what he is missing.
Right, he has to call,
Would it
you
help
have to call.
to sit down and show me, and we can continue to
Right,
get it
that's
through?
the
Or-
help I'm trying to get you.
Ms. Gonzalez, he has to call the grants office to make an appointment with the appeals process. They sit down with you and they tell you exactly what you're missing. They will go through the whole process with you and
But I
explain.
understand the appeal was denied, so.
He didn't have an appeal. In the appeals process, he would have sat down with the whole committee. He did not do that. So that is not, he did not.
Is that my fault, or?
Yes, when you receive the denial letter, and then you would have, it says, if you have an appeal and you would like to appeal it, that you will call the grants office, make an appointment, and that
And
the
we
whole
did.
committee will go, okay, so.
And I said to them. They didn't go through every single thing, and they went through it. I mean, I guess they did, and they said, oh, okay.
I have a question.
And they said, oh, you're good.
The They said you're good, and then they didn't send you a letter.
And then today, we got an email that there's, that you're denied insufficient.
So at the meeting, they told you what you need, you gave them what you needed, and then they denied you.
This is not the first time they said it's insufficient. First they said insufficient, we said, okay, what are we missing? We got all the information. Now, by their appeal, we gave them all the information, and they said, okay, great, let's do it. Great. So we thought it
They
was
say it looks
fine.
good or they have to review it? They
I
have to
see that they
review
reviewed
it.
it right then. I mean, what did they do then?
Did you say why not denied?
Through the chair, I have a question. You're saying that the first time you got rejected, it only said insufficient documentation?
Yes.
Okay, could somebody address, is anybody from the grants office here? Somebody could address, because Mrs. Winters, are the guidelines within the district say that one should not say insufficient documentation, but explain what it is? And I mean, I give you an example. If I'm applying for a passport and I'm filling out an application,
There's a checklist. There's a checklist.
Sorry, but the checklist is not in return.
But one second, the checklist, was there a checklist of what is wrong, or you just said insufficient documentation? My point is, if I'm applying for a passport and I'm filling out an application, I'm attaching my picture, and then I'm getting back denied, and it says insufficient documentation, I may not know what's wrong. I may have, you know, my yarmulke may be covering my eyes, or maybe there's something wrong with my form. I mean, just to say insufficient documentation on the professional development application, which is pages and pages, so how somebody's supposed to know what is right or what is wrong?
Well, usually it says excessive cost, or it doesn't meet the mandates of the guidelines. It usually says more than that.
But he says,
I don't know that it says exactly what the paper.
Thank you.
Can we have a copy of that?
Is this you, Commissioner Thomas? Thank you.
because I remember for the last 7 months receiving email which I forwarded to the administration, people saying that they only get denied without specific reason. I thought that was settled already a long time ago, but it seems like, from, again, I don't know what is taking place, but based on what this gentleman is saying, is that we continue saying insufficient documentation, which basically fails people, because if they don't know what to fix, how are they supposed to do it?
And it's so late in the process that, like, when I told her, okay, so let me give you in whatever you want, and now let me give it to you. Oh, it's too late. So there's no, you don't have the time to be able to.
Okay, thank you, sir. We'll go way past the time, and we're going to take a look at that.
My question is it a fact that insufficient documentation is being cited as a reason for rejection without specific reasons given? Can somebody speak about it?
There's actually, the guy letter's not here, so I can't. You can just call the business office tomorrow.
We didn't get it, so I told you what's the appeal. We got an original letter, and then we went to appeal.
You can't go to the appeal until without denial. Everybody gets one.
So we got, I'm talking about the next one from today, from yesterday.
Answer right for your appeal.
We got an appeal.
You said you got an appeal. And did they say what the reason was?
Then he's,
Ms. Garfield will follow up today.
maybe it was an email after conversing with her, she said we should get handouts and resumes, and then we did all this. And
I think our practice should
bring it to the appeal.
Our practice should be that if we're denying an appeal based on insufficient documentation, just as a matter of fundamental fairness, people should understand. Maybe we do this, I don't know the answer.
I have seen many,
Please let me finish. You should at least specify which documents are missing, so people have a clear understanding as to why the appeal is being denied. I guess this gentleman is stating that you did not get any type of checklist, document, letter saying you're missing A, B, C, and D. You did not get something like that?
I don't remember recall getting anything in the letter.
Okay.
Mark, we do give out information. There's none, he doesn't have.
I did speak to her, and she did tell me this, what we have to give in, the handouts, and we did. And we brought it to the appeal, and she said bring it, and it seemed from the appeal, at the time we were talking, that everything's okay. She told me that it's not okay late enough in the game that she says that there's not enough time to do anything.
Right, well, the time frame in which we'll take a look at it. We get it back.
I don't have no copy of it.
Can you make a photocopy?
Yeah, I have a
Send it
copy,
to
yes.
us?
You can keep that, and I made a copy for
I
myself.
have it. You have it.
We get it back to you.
You don't have any of the district papers with you, though. You only have your papers.
Oh.
No, you don't have any of our papers. So it's really unfair to take your papers when you don't have any of our documentation.
I have personally seen many of the rejections that happened in the last month, and they all say insufficient, not all say, the one that I saw many that say insufficient documentation. There's no reason given, doesn't say you're missing this, you're missing that. We're talking about extensive documents here. It's not a one page. I mean, if I was submitting it, if I don't know what I need to be fixed, that's, you know, that's like Mark said, that's not fair. And not only that, this has been going on for 9 months already. I have so many emails that I have forwarded to the administration, to the state, to the...
We've changed the process over the last several months. They have a lot of documentation. They have several checklists. They go back and forth. We keep more documentation than I can tell you.
No, I'm talking about giving reasons, as Mark said, just out of fairness and responsibility as a district to provide those funds, the federal funds, a lot of them.
You can come into the district office tomorrow if you would like, and you can sit with the committee, and they can show you all the documentation, all the checklists we have from every school, every single email.
But the checklist, Mrs. Winters, the checklist says that there's a bunch of checks, and one of them is insufficient documentation. So they check that insufficient documentation. So you're right, there is a checklist, but that checklist says insufficient documentation, and there's no reasons provided why.
I think Ms. Winters is referring to the checklist that when you apply, you should check off to make sure you're
Correct.
I'm talking about rejection checklist.
No,
It goes by
I think
both
we should
ways.
apply with the same list.
If you're giving me, we give you a checklist that you have to give, for you to give us your professional development. You have a checklist that you check off. Did you give the resume? Did you give this document? Did you give this document? So you check up that you check up your checklist. So if you're missing 3 documents that you can give us, we give it back to you and say you didn't give all these documents.
Correct. We're not talking about that. Maybe he is, but that group here is in the information that you're giving. It's not, they don't have enough information on the paper. And that's what their problem is. And they're not explaining to us what their issue with. Let's say there's a resume, so we get the resume. Now they'll say, hey, the resume doesn't say this and this and this and this. So they don't tell you that, they just say it's insufficient.
The insufficient,
you're very unclear.
The insufficient,
what exactly they're denying.
But that's like a short, like when you're 10 minutes.
I know, but I think it should be more discussion. So Mr.
Okay, fine, let them talk, no problem. Next person that talks, you can talk for half an hour.
No.
Okay.
Mr. Green, we got the case. We want to discuss this question.
I just want to let them talk. And I have one line that we
I think you should make an appointment with the business.
I just want to discuss it with other board members. And my question is, if the insufficient documentation is not missing documentation, it is within that documentation, subjectively, which is, I'm not questioning whether it's right or wrong, but subjectively some decided that the resume or anything else is not complete enough. So somebody should be told, your resume is not complete. Say insufficient documentation, out of a stack of 10, 20 pages, it sends somebody on the goose chase. So my question is why we don't provide in every single rejection an explanation, detailed explanation of why something was rejected.
Through the chair. I think what Luca says is that it would be a good idea for you to come to the board office and sit down.
I don't want to, no, I
and
don't.
see exactly what forms are issued. And just assuming that they don't have this.
Mr. Friedman was there and he sat there and he went through the...
Okay, well, you didn't say that. You're the one saying that.
Mr. Smith, I went out to the office and I reviewed some of the rejection letters, and I was very unimpressed why they were rejected, and it seemed that it was very subjective, and definitely the answers given to the schools was vague.
Okay.
So I think we need to address this, and going forward, that we don't have mass rejections again, because this is just one school that got a rejection. From what I understand, there were over 100 rejections, so this is a real problem we're facing.
I'm just going to assume that there are guidelines that the district has to follow. So I'm going to assume that the district is following those guidelines based on the state monitor, based on our collective action plan. So I remember reading a state audit saying that there was incomplete paperwork and misuse of funds. So by the district, you call it nitpicking, I call it following the rules. You know, there's a reason for that.
Yeah, but I don't think
and I'm sure that we're following state guidelines.
I don't think the question is following the guidelines. I think everybody is 100% agreement that the guidelines need to be followed. The only question is, when somebody's denied, do they have a clear understanding of why? I think that's really the issue. Do people understand why professional development is being denied? That's the issue.
Is there another name?
Pastor Wilson wants to
Alice, I'm sorry, Alice President. Pastor Wilson.
Just want to say, this week I ran into someone in one of the stores. He's retired. A retired person from Lakewood, and he said to me, I have a lot of respect for Ms. Winters. He said when she was at Oak Street, we had some students that nobody wanted, and she would be the only teacher that would take in any student in her class that nobody wanted in their class. And I concur with the individual that Ms. Winters has done everything she can in her power to see to it that our children are properly educated. So in this issue with the German class and any other issue that may come up due to our budgetary problems, which we know will persist until we come up with an answer to bring more money into Lakewood. These issues are going to persist. 1 year it is going to be the German student, the next year is going to be sports, and we will always be trying to find a place where to cut. We are already so streamlined. We are, and we are making some headways. We're making, you know, as the students that you heard tonight, they're all progressing, very nicely. But what we don't want to do is try to find money in places that's going to hurt our children. I also understand that we have a lot of teachers that are being riced. We need to be careful that we don't continue to get rid of teachers that are succeeding and causing our children to succeed. So, once again, I don't know when this meeting is going to take place. I understand we now have a committee in town. This makeshift, this makeshift committee. I don't know when this meeting is going to take place, that we're going to come up with a plan, with the Lakewood plan, to go somewhere and show somebody that Lakewood is a special case. That unless we solve the problem, we don't keep pushing it off to next year. Unless we solve the problem every year, we're going to have the same problems. So the only way for us to get stability and keep our teachers and make sure that our students are thriving is to solve the issue. We have too much expenditure, little money. I mean, I didn't do very well in math, but I can tell you right now that ain't gonna work. So, until we get together, as a community and figure out how we're going to solve this issue, every year we're going to have the same problem. So, we are willing to sit down and everybody should, but these are our children. So until we're willing to do something, I don't know what is going to do. But we need to leave our teachers alone. And leave our class. And let's find other ways, other means, other places. Let's knock on other doors that will pull money out of those places, but we need to keep our children succeeding as they are. So we are open, we should all be open. Let's sit down, let's get this thing done.
Pastor Wilson, I just want to address you. There's a meeting coming up with the commission in a couple of days. Okay, the commission, as I mentioned before, last year appointed a monitor, right? And there are discretionary funds that the commissioner gave out this year to other districts for educational purposes. German classes, educational purposes, and other ones. So we all know which door we need to walk through, okay? And we have a monitor here, and you have the commissioner's cell phone. And he's coming here. I think if that point is being repeated again and again to the commissioner, instead of different communities trying to fight for scarce resources, and I fully agree with you, we need to leave the teachers alone. There's no more to cut. Everything is bare minimum in this district, and until we unite, nothing is going to happen. But you have a chance, and you're going to have a chance in a couple of days to make a strong point to the commissioner that the same way Allen Park and other districts get discretionary funds, Lakewood should also get for educational purposes.
But let's get together and tell the commissioner that these funds cannot be just for 1 year. We need money. We have to solve the Lakewood problem. Lakewood is a unique district, and it cannot continue to be treated, as a district that is like Bricktown or Town River. We are not in those districts. We have a unique problem later. So until they are able to see it that way.
They seeing it like that. The commissioner knows exactly what's going on, trust me. Okay, he knows exactly what's going on here.
So maybe
Mike has the ear of the commissioner knows exactly what's going on in this district. But you, as a community leader, need to make that point very strongly in a couple of days. Are you going to make that point?
We have made that point to the commissioner many times, and out of all the commissions, Commissioner Heskey has our ears. So let's make it.
But he has to deliver.
Well, he has a many.
We need his wallet.
In many ways he has.
His wallet.
In many ways he has. He sent the commissioner to us. So.
All right.
Thank you.
Through the chair, I'd like to thank all the students that did come up and speak. That took a lot of courage, and it shows me and it shows the kids that anytime a student wants to come to the mic and talk and passionately about any subject, that absolutely that they want to have passion about, we as parents should encourage that. Because there's very few students who show any interest in anything. So if you have some students here who have interest, who show interest, who have a passion for German, we should do everything that we can to keep that. And
I'm a junior at Lakewood High School. I would like to address the German subject. And I've taken German since I was in 7th grade. I took her and I couldn't get her in my 8th grade year because obviously they're not going to put me in German 2 in 8th grade. But I left the Central Regional, they offered me Spanish and I rejected it because I don't want Spanish. And then I came back to Lakewood and they offered me Spanish yet again. As for me, a student, I also am Hispanic. My mom speaks Spanish to me all the time in my house. So I wanted German. And at first they said it wasn't possible that I could get German as a sophomore. And then I fought it and I got my German. Now I'm a junior and I have German too. Miss Gregson is also my coach in cheerleading. And ever since she's coached me, she's taught me, I've learned so many things. So many things that I can't even explain to you. I've learned about prepositions, what's outside of the box, what's inside of the box, whatever a mouse can do to a box is a preposition. Accusative case, nominative case. I've never learned that in English class. And isn't that where we're supposed to be learning it? And for a fact that, Ms. Winters, I understand you said, oh, okay, you guys can learn online. What is that going to do for us? If we don't even want to take the part online, what makes you want to learn one of my math teachers is also not returning his, is not invited to renew his contract, which is Mr. McGill. He was my geometry teacher, and I still go to him to this day to go and learn from him because I don't know anything in Algebra 2 with Mr. Lieberman. I go to him during my lunch period, after school, anything to get me to learn more in Algebra 2. And when I found out today at Foley's, not even in school, that one of my favorite teachers, also Ms. Gregson, is going to be fired or not renew their contract worries me. You guys don't, it's like, I'm not saying you guys, but a teacher once said to me that it's like they don't want this Lakewood students to succeed in life. And I completely agree with what he's saying. Everything that we wanted, we've always been taken away from. Everything that we've been going through, and I don't think it's fair to us. And for you guys to be the board, you guys should be defending us and not having us to suffer through these things. And German 3 is one of the things that I want, because I will be going to a good college. And if I don't have my German, and if I don't have Mr. to help me with my pre-calculus, I don't think I will succeed. And that's not right. So I rest my case.
Guten Tag, wie heiße Yesenia. I'm graduating this June. I'm senior. Hard work and dedication. I had German for 2 years, and I experienced an amazing journey. I learned so many things. Like as she mentioned, I learned more in German class than I did in English class. And I never thought this culture, beautiful culture, existed before because I never explored it until I took that German class. And Miss Rao is an amazing teacher. She never misses a day. She's always there, and she always is prepared to help you no matter what. So these kids have a dream, and even though I'm leaving, I think they have a right. They have a right to take German 2, 3, 4, because Spanish, we already know that. So I just want to let you guys know. At least have a heart for them.
Yes, that's it.
We have some additions to the agenda. Page 1 through 8 in the back. Any motion to accept the additions to the agenda?
Motion.
Second.
Discussion? I made the motion. Okay, Mr. Gonzalez made seconded. Freeman, I'm sorry, Freeman.
Discussion?
Discussion. I have a couple questions about the agenda. Item number K. Page 1. Letter K. One of the legal services. Did we put that out for RFP?
What we did was, we had just recently did RFPs, and what we did a cost comparison of the types of the RFPs that we got in. And then we compared what Stack Price, Smith and King charged, and the quality of their services. And based on the last set of RFPs, and cost comparison, which is allowed per regulation, we moved this forward.
So it wasn't all,
Not a specific one for this.
so based on the one you got last year?
Just a month ago.
Isn't this a continuation of his existing contract when we had him bid it, we had him with option years?
On a professional services contract.
We went out on a competitive bid, we did an evaluation of the first fire department, and we had them prepare options for us for additional years, and most of them were at the same price.
Well, this is the same price.
Right.
That's last year.
Right.
And it's the first year was.
Yes, that's correct. There's been no increase in rates.
No increases.
This is the third year.
Right.
Okay, thanks, Mark. Page 3, consulting services, LLC. There's no amount there. I don't know if that was a typo or they cut that out. There was no amount. Page 3, up on top. Okay, all right, we should put something in. Okay, thank you. Take a workshop. Okay, thank you.
This is just the, to accept the additions to the agenda.
Yes.
So Mr. Jackman says yes?
Yes.
Mr. Monti? Yes. Mr. Tiff?
Yes.
Mr. Weinberger?
Yes.
Mrs. Blackett?
Yes.
Mr. Friedman?
Yes.
Mrs. Dollar?
Yes.
7 yes. Passes. The next one is to accept the business agenda, including the correction and the additions to the business agenda. Need a motion? So moved.
Can you say from what page to what page it is?
Page 4.
Page 4 to 7. And then on the
Page 4 to 7.
And
It's just page
Page 1 of the additions.
Right.
Page
4 to 7, and then 1 on the additions.
4 through 7.
Page 1 on the, correct, the addition to the agenda.
Okay.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Jankowitz?
Yes.
Mr. Monti? Yes. Mr. Tiff?
Yes.
Mr. Weinberger?
We didn't have discussion on these items. I don't know why we voted on it.
No, we're in the middle of a vote.
Mr. Weinberger?
Yes.
Mrs. Lacken?
Yes.
Mr. Friedman?
Before I go, I have a question on page 7. At least I think it's page 7. It's letter I. We made a change that we are not going to the lowest bidder, but we're going to the most qualified. I just wanted to know if the most qualified was also the lowest bidder.
Give me letter J. I don't see letter I in there.
starts on page 6.
I got a different version. I'm talking about the catapult, tree of knowledge.
Right. It was the point system. They changed.
Right.
We made a change.
It wasn't that they were the lowest responsible bidder, they had the highest scores when the contract went out.
So how how do we, sometimes we go by the highest bidder, sometimes some go the lowest bidder, sometimes we go the highest score, how do we decide this?
Under competitive contracting, which is, under competitive contracting, which is a legally acceptable alternative to bidding in certain situations, basically you create a rubric, a scoring chart, which allows a team to score the proposals that were received, and it doesn't always have to be on the lowest bid, it can be cost and other factors considered. Is that correct?
So who evaluates it? Sorry?
The committee that does the evaluation, does the scoring, and then it's tallied.
Is the officials in the business office?
And Chairman is speaking, yes.
Is that who did it this time?
I'm not sure.
I just wanted to know who scored it, and also, we also wanted to know if, did we say up front that we will go by the scoring and not by the lowest bidder?
Yeah, I understand the bidders did understand that it was being done through a competitive contracting process, and the advertisement said that, correct?
I just wanted to know who the committee is, and I know
It's usually the supervisor of a particular, say, service that's being provided, puts the committee together based on maybe the purchasing agent, people that may run her program, or his program, or whatever, and that's, the best people for to evaluate the service that's being provided.
So my vote is yes.
Okay. Ms. Gonzalez?
Yes.
Motion passes. 7 yes.
That was the superintendent, that was the...
That was the business agenda, including the corrections and the additions.
Motion to approve the superintendent's report and recommendation for superintendent, page 7 through the end of this package, plus the amendments.
I'll second it.
Mr. Friedman, second.
Yes, I have a question on item 41.
Page?